So now, without any further delay, we will turn the time over to Ms. Alia Tanvi to introduce the eminent speaker, Dr. Sujata Chintakunta. Over to Alia.
Good evening to everyone attending this webinar today. It is my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Sujata Chintakunta. Presently working as a recruiter and student guidance counselor at Academy of Learning College, Babe, Dr. Sujata is an accomplished educator and an administrator with demonstrated ability to teach, motivate, and engage students. With over 10 years of international teaching and academic experience, she continues to be enthusiastic and compassionate and is committed to providing students with the vital skills required to realize a future of accomplishment and success. With her strong administrative and management skills, she has implemented a curriculum through developing and delivering interactive lesson plans and effectively interacted with diverse populations of students at a variety of academic levels. Dr. Suljata completed her PhD in psychotherapy and counseling in 2010 at New Age International University, Las Vegas, USA. She also has a master's degree in psychology, child and development, and master's in human resource management. Moreover, she is also a certified OCT teacher. Her past teaching and work experience include being an instructor and campus manager at Sunview College, Brampton, project assistant at Ontario Early Years Centre, Toronto, staffing coordinator at Top M Toronto, and assistant professor at Kripagniti Educational Institution, Bangalore, India. It is a great pleasure to have you with us here today, ma'am. I extend a hearty welcome to you. I now request Dr. Sujata to start off with her presentation.
Good evening, everybody. I thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Alia, for introducing me. So, looking into the topic, I would like to have a brief overview into what I would be discussing today, and would like to encourage students to come up with the question and answers so that we have better understanding of the situation and especially the coping strategies. So your friend has introduced me, Dr. Sujata. Right now, I'm presently with Academy of Learning. I'm more now into counseling, recruitment, and guidance. Going further to my second slide, the key points of today's discussion as we overrun, I am discussing with regarding to pandemic and its effect. I'm trying to speak currently some of the situations faced in general and specifically for students, the challenges faced by the students, and the coping strategies which has to be applied effectively by the students. So basically graduating students.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Sujata. We will go ahead and take some time for questions. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your questions into the question box in your control panel. Thank you, ma'am.
So eventually, I'll wait.
Okay, ma'am. I call upon Jerusha to introduce the next resource person, Mr. Krishnamurthy.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. This is Jerusha. This evening, I'm delighted and pleased to introduce to you our second eminent resource person, Mr. Krishnamurthy, who has an extensive experience in the field of English literature and training. With the qualification of MA in English and PG Diploma in English language teaching from Bangalore University and Regional Institution of Education, South India, respectively, Mr. Krishnamurthy's experiences are wide-ranging. He has previously worked with HSBC Bank and Emphasis as a voice and accent trainer and is currently working as an English professor at Seshadripuram College, Ulhamganj. Aside from his work experiences, Mr. Krishnamurthy has attended and presented papers at various number of seminars nationally and internationally. He also identifies as a bibliophile and enjoys reading literature from across the world. He has always been a keen learner. So kindly join me in welcoming Krishnamurthy sir Assistant Professor, Department of English, Sheshadripuram College, Yelahanka, Bangalore. Over to you, sir.
I'd like to extend my warm greetings and a sincere gratitude towards Bishop Cotton College's principal and Ms. Rajkumari for allowing this wonderful platform to share our thoughts. So my main focus on about today's seminar and webinar would be the challenges and the problems that most of the student community face at this part of a time. So, because we all know that COVID-19 struck us without a warning and left head of all educational institutions scrambling to respond to its exigencies. So it has also created a need to creatively deal with such unforeseen and once in a century catastrophic event that are being predicted as the new normal. So we all know that how this online teaching has become a new normal for us, which is completely unconventional. So their alacrity has resulted in a space of online classes for learners of every level, ranging from scholastic subjects to co-scholastic areas such as fine and performing arts to mental wellness and physical fitness. So I have listed out mainly 8 problems as to what are the challenges that our student community is facing. So let us have a basic understanding as to what is online learning is. That takes place over the internet, right? It is often referred to as e-learning, right, among other terms. However, online learning is just one type of distance learning. It is quite of an umbrella term for any learning that takes place across distance and not in a traditional classroom. So there's something called a digital device. I'm sure most of you are aware what a digital divide is. A digital divide is any uneven distribution in the access to use of or impact of information and communication technologies between any number of distinct groups. So these groups may be defined based on social, geographical, or geopolitical criteria or other. Because of ICT high cost, its adoption and utilization is highly uneven across the globe. So let me, so I would like to thank again to Bishop Cotton College for providing this wonderful opportunity to share my few thoughts over it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that very insightful presentation on how the pandemic has affected the education system and the challenges that are faced by both students and professors from different backgrounds. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I now request Ms. Priscilla Shiba to introduce our next speaker.
Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to introduce Mrs. Deepa S.V., who studied in Kannada medium up to 7th and high schooling in English medium in Tumkur, Bangalore, Bidar, and Bijapur. She has pursued a BA in Mount Carmel College and her MA from Bangalore University. Mrs. Deepa has done a postgraduate diploma in HRM, Pondicherry University, and her MSc in psychology in Annamalai University in 2006. She has also done a PG course in sociology of health. Teaching has been a passion started in 2000 June in KSMS FGC for 4 years, Mount Carmel for 10 months, St. Martha's Nursing College for 2 years, and taught sociology, BSc nursing, and GNM nursing course. Mrs. Deepa has started her government service in 2007 and has attended 2 international seminars and 5 national seminars. She has also attended various faculty development programs on syllabus, teaching and learning process and higher education, etc. And also due to this COVID-19 current situation, she has been exploring herself about new teaching and learning methods online. We welcome you, ma'am. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, dear students and dear fellow faculties. Today, as a part of Bishop Cotton Women's Christian College webinar, I am planning to present on e-learning, a conflict resolution. Today, I am going to talk about all these points. Let me skip this slide, but basically I showed this in order to make you understand what is my intention for today's talk. I'm going to talk about e-learning as a conflict resolution from learner's point of view and from instructor's point of view. First thing, from learner's point of view, as already Krishnamurti sir told, there is a digital divide. So the students first of all have to win over digital divide. What is this digital divide? As already mentioned, this is the gap between those students who have, do not have, and the knowledge to use current technology for transforming education or learning. We may have gadgets, but then we may not be knowing how to use it. This is what is digital divide. We need to utilize our best knowledge. See, you all are using smartphones and then phones with lot of facilities and inbuilt apps and etc. But we may not be knowing what exactly is there in our system or in our mobile or in our smartphone as a gadget. We need to know about the knowledge about that gadget, either from peer group or teachers or from your siblings or anybody. You can't reach anybody. Why don't you use Google, which is a handy tutor on gadget access? You Google it, whatever you want to know, it will teach you, it will give you instructions. You have any number of videos on YouTube. Through that, you can learn various aspects. Keep in mind, become study-centric. Utilize the best of your knowledge because of this smartphones. What tools you want for easy learning that you will be knowing as a student, because the access is yours. So dare to ask your teacher what you want or what kind of a tool that your teacher wants to use for you as a student. I'm not talking about a single student. Each and every student has to come up with this. Say, for example, I want Zoom or Google Classroom or WhatsApp or YouTube or the virtual classroom, creativity, etc., etc. If at all that generation gap is not built up, this is what is going to happen. We end up like this. I think the pictures they are showing, there is one teacher who gave the assignment to a small child saying that he or she, the child, has to write an essay on dog. The child did not know what to do. The child wrote essay word on dog. Don't you think it is, the miscommunication or there's no proper communication? Then another picture is talking about, to see both teacher is also right, the student is also right. What I did on my summer vacation is the assignment given by the teacher. She wants everything in writing because it's her generation. The way she wants it to be a conventional method, but then the student, he is showing in the gadget. So this is what is going to happen if at all we are not going to use the gadgets in a proper way. That is why all, whether your generation, my parents' generation, we need to use all these gadgets inevitably after this pandemic situation. I would like to thanks to my WhatsApp friends for sending these pictures on time before this presentation, which I could use it accidentally. At last, I would like to convey my wholehearted thanks to Professor Esther Samuel Madam, Principal Bishop Cotton Women's Christian College, Rajkumari, Assistant Professor, Head of the Department of Sociology. I would like to thank once again for listening patiently. Now, we all would like to open the forum for discussion. Thank you once again.
So thank you, ma'am. You've definitely shown us some pointers which are very useful for us in days where we use our devices and platforms only for entertainment. I'm sure all of us have taken away something useful from the presentation. Thank you, ma'am. a small announcement. Participants, please leave your email IDs in the chat box so that we can send you a feedback form, after which you will receive your e-certificates. I repeat, please leave your email IDs in the chat box so that you will receive a feedback form from our side, and after that you will receive the e-certificates. Thank you. Over to you, Alia.
As this session concludes, I'd like to thank everyone present here for making this webinar successful. On behalf of our college, I would like to thank our speakers, Dr. Sujata Chintakunta, Mr. Krishnamurthy, and Ms. Deepa for taking time off their schedule and joining us in today's webinar. Thank you for all your knowledgeable insights on the various impacts of COVID-19 and how we can cope with the challenges that are faced in this current situation. A heartfelt thanks to our principal, Professor Esther Prasanna Kumar, and our HOD of Department of Sociology, Professor Evangeline, for giving us this opportunity. I would like to thank each one of you for your cooperation and for being really patient through the technical difficulties that we faced. Last but not the least, all thanks and praise to God Almighty for His sustaining grace and for keeping us constantly under His care. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you being here. Feedback form will be shared after 3 hours to your registered email ID. Once again, thank you for joining us today, and we will see you next time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you all.